I knew he hated suits, but he honestly looked like a devil of the best kind dressed up as he was. His tailored black pants draped down his legs and accentuated his narrow waist. The black dress shirt wasn't tight, but it didn't hide his body either, and the black jacket and tie completed the look in a way that emanated power and sex, as always. In the 8 months since we'd gotten together, I'd become very adept at swallowing my drool before it seeped out of my mouth. Luckily, he looked at me the same way. He leaned against the door, his jacket pulled back from his waist as he slid his hands into his pockets, and watched me with interest. His dark brown hair sat across his forehead in elegant chaos, like a dark shadow hovering just above his eyes. "What are you thinking?" I asked, when he continued to just stand there. "How much I miss watching you come into this room," he answered, looking me up and down. My body warmed, knowing exactly what he was talking about. I'd enjoyed toying with him when I knew he was watching me in here. "And," he continued, "I'm going to miss how your hand shoots into the air like a big dork to answer questions." I gasped, my eyes rounding in mock anger. "Dork?" I repeated. I put my hands on my hips and pursed my lips to hide my smile. He grinned and kept joking, and also how you huddled so close to the desktop when you were concentrating on a test, and how you chewed your pencils when you were nervous. My gaze flashed to the side, where his old desk sat behind mine. He went on, pushing off the door and inching closer to me. "I'm also going to miss how you blushed when I whispered things in your ear when Penley's back was turned." He cocked his head to the side, and I looked up at him as he approached me. Shivers ran down my arms as I remembered Jared leaning forward over his desk and tickling my ear with his hot promises. I closed my eyes, feeling his chest brush against mine. "I'm going to miss sitting 2 feet away," he whispered over me, "and no one the wiser as to what I'd snuck into your room that morning to do to you." I sucked in a breath, feeling his forehead dip to mine. He continued, "I'm going to miss the torture of wanting you in the middle of class and not being able to have you. I'm going to miss us in this room, Tate." Me too. The pull was always there between us, even in a crowded classroom, full of noise and distraction. There was an invisible rope cutting through the space, connecting him and me. He touched me even when he couldn't reach me. He whispered in my ear from 20 feet away, and I could always feel his lips, even when we were apart. I smiled and opened my eyes, his lips now an inch from mine. "Even though you sat behind me, I could always feel your eyes, Jared. Even when you acted like you hated me, I felt you watching me." "I never hated you." "I know." I nodded gently, circling his waist with my arms. The 3 years he'd made an enemy out of me seemed unbearable at the time. Now I was just glad it was all over. I was grateful that we were here, together. But I wouldn't look back on high school as a very enjoyable experience, and I knew he had a lot of guilt about that. All of Jared's life, he'd suffered abandonment and loneliness, from his horrible father and alcoholic mother, from the neighbors who ignored what was happening, and from the teachers who looked the other way. The summer before freshman year, the parents who should have protected him hurt him nearly beyond repair. His father was abusive, leaving permanent scars, and his mother couldn't be there for him. So Jared decided alone was best. He shut everyone out. But with me, he went a step further, several steps, actually. He sought revenge. I was his best friend at the time, but he'd thought I'd abandoned him as well. It was a culmination of too many bad things happening in too little time, and Jared